Virtuous Women Collective, The Imagination of
Welcome
Christ.
Introduction.
How Jesus
There is a
used
path
faith
few
to
are
create
willing to
reality.
walk.
A
Jesus
journey that
did not
requires
merely
vision
believe
beyond
in faith.
sight.
He
Faith
lived
beyond
as faith
reason,
itself,
and a
His
knowing
entire
beyond
existence
logic.
was a
You were
revelation
never
of
meant
the
to live
unseen,
by the
a
limitations
demonstration
of this world.
of divine
You were
imagination
created to move
made
in divine
manifest,
alignment,
where the
to
world
speak
saw
and
limitation.
see the unseen
He
take
saw
form.
infinite possibility.
What you are about to discover
To
is
Jesus,
not for the passive.
reality was not bound
nor for
by
those
human
who wait for
perception,
permission to
but
step
shaped
into
by
their
the
destiny.
higher laws of
This
the
is for
Spirit.
those who are
He
ready to
understood
awaken,
that what we see
to
is
break
not
free
all that
from
is,
fear and
he
doubt.
walked in the
and
awareness
delay
that faith
and
is the
walk
bridge
fully
between
in
the
the invisible
authority given
and
to
the
them.
visible.
The
principles
sacred
within
vision
these
of
pages
Christ
are not
Jesus
theories.
did not look at
They are
life through the
laws,
eyes of men.
unchanging,
He saw through the
unwavering,
mind of God,
and available
where
to all
others
who
saw
choose
lack.
to believe.
He saw
If
the
you apply
endless
what is written
provision
here,
of heaven.
your life
Feeding
will
the
never be the
5,000.
same.
This
Matthew
is the
14
Virtuous
verses
Women
13
Collective,
to 21,
where faith becomes
where
action,
others saw disease
and action transforms
He saw the
reality.
perfection of the
Are
soul
you ready?
awaiting
Disclaimer.
expression. The
Healing a
insights
leper.
and teachings
Matthew
presented in
8
this book
verses
are
1 to
intended
3.
for inspiration,
Where others saw
spiritual
death,
growth,
he saw
and
life
personal
untouched
reflection.
by time
They
and
do not
limitation.
replace professional
Raising
advice,
Jairus'
financial
daughter.
guidance,
Mark 5
or
verses
medical
35
consultation.
to 43.
The Virtuous Women
Jesus
Collective
did not
and
see
its
as the
affiliates
world sees,
assume no
because he
responsibility
knew that reality
for how
is shaped
individuals
by
interpret
perception.
or apply
He
the
was the
information
ultimate
within
alchemist
these
of
pages.
faith,
Each
transmuting
reader
fear
is
into
responsible
courage,
for their own
despair
journey
into
and
hope,
decisions,
and impossibility
the power
into
of divine
certainty.
imagination. The word
Manifesting
as a creative
through Christ
force.
by Virtuous
Every word
Women
Jesus
Collective.
spoke was not
Unlocking
merely
the
language.
creative power
It was
of
creation
faith
in motion
to shape your reality.
His words were not
Introduction.
descriptions of reality,
The gift
but
of
commands
spiritual
upon it.
vision.
He did not
Imagine
conform
this.
to what he saw.
A woman is standing
Instead,
before a mountain.
He declared
She
what
sees
must
an
be,
obstacle too
and
big to
reality
move,
obeyed.
too high
His
to
words
climb,
reshaped
too
the
vast
world.
to go around.
Take up your bed
She feels
and walk.
small.
John 5
Powerless,
verse 8.
stuck.
The paralyzed man
Doubt
rose.
whispers in her ear.
Lazarus,
telling
come
her
forth.
that no matter
John
how
11
hard she
verse
tries,
43.
this
The grave
mountain
released
isn't
its
going
prisoner.
anywhere.
Be still.
But then,
Mark
a
4
divine
verse
reminder
39.
rises in her
The
spirit.
storm surrendered
The words
to
of
peace.
Jesus.
Jesus
Truly,
spoke
I tell
not
you,
from the
if
illusion
your
of
faith
limitation,
is small as
but
a
from the
mustard
knowing
seed,
of divine
you can
truth.
say to this mountain,
He understood
move
that
from here to
creation
there,
responds to
and
certainty.
it will move,
not hesitation.
Nothing will be impossible
Reality
for you.
conforms
Matthew
to those who
17
see beyond
verse
it.
20.
Faith.
At that moment,
the architect
something
of reality
shifts inside
Jesus
her.
did not
The
act
mountain
from
doesn't
belief
change
alone.
immediately,
He
but
acted
she
from
does.
awareness.
She stopped
He did
seeing
not
the
hope
mountain
that
as
things
an
would
immovable
change.
obstacle.
He knew
and
they
start
were
seeing
already
herself
changed
as
in
the
the
realm
realm
of
who had
spirit.
already conquered it.
And in that knowing,
just like
he
that,
called them forth.
what once felt
He left
impossible
no room
becomes
for doubt,
inevitable,
because doubt
that
is
is
the
language
power
of a
of
mind
divine
confined
imagination.
to illusion.
It is not
He reminded
daydreaming,
us that
but
this
visualizing
power
with
is not
intention.
exclusive to him.
It is not
but
wishful
is the
thinking, but
inheritance
focused
of
thinking on
all
what you
who
want.
awaken to it.
It is the sacred
Whoever
ability
believes in
to
me
see
will do
what
the
God
works
has
I have been
promised
doing,
before it physically
and they will
exists.
do even greater
Faith
things
is not
than
just
these.
seeing.
John
Faith is
14
believing.
verse 12.
And once you
This
see
is
it,
not a metaphor.
you can manifest
This
it.
is not
Throughout
hyperbole.
the Bible,
This
God has
is
given
an
his people
invitation to
visions
step
before
into your divine
manifestation,
nature, promises
see
before
as he
provision,
saw,
to
and
imagine
dreams
before
as he
deliverance.
imagined.
Abraham
speak
was
as he
shown the
spoke,
stars before
to
he had a
command
single
as he
child.
commanded.
Genesis
The divine
15
imagination
verse
within
5.
you.
Moses was
faith,
given a
if
vision
not the
of the
imagination
promised
of the
land
soul
while
still
fully
in the
realized.
wilderness.
Faith
Exodus
is not
3
waiting for
verse
proof.
8.
It is being the
Joseph
proof.
saw his destiny
It is stepping
long
into the
before his
knowing that all
circumstances
things are
aligned with
already
it.
done in the mind of
Genesis
God,
37
and that our
verses
task is simply
5
to
to 9.
align with that reality.
In every case,
you are not
they had
here
to
to
see
be
it
a
before
prisoner
they
of
received it.
circumstances.
See it
You
within
are
their
here
minds.
to be a creator
Feel
within
it within
them.
their hearts.
You are not meant
and
to walk
receive
by
it
sight
as it
alone,
already
but
has
by
happened.
the inner vision
And
that
now,
transcends
so do
the
you.
physical world.
This book is
You are
your
not
guide
bound
to
by
unlocking
history,
the spiritual
logic,
law
or
of
human
imagination.
understanding.
The principle
You are
that
only
Jesus,
bound by
the
the limits
prophets,
of your faith.
and every person
Jesus
of great
mastered
faith
reality
has
not
used to
because
call
he saw
forth the
control, but
unseen
because
into
he
reality.
understood oneness
This is how
with the
miracles
divine.
happen.
He did
This
not
is
hope
how
for
miracles
breakthroughs occur.
He lived as
This
the miracle
is how you
itself.
step into the
And so
abundant
can
life
you.
God has prepared
Faith
for you.
is not a request.
Because if you can
It
see
is
it in the
knowing.
spirit, faith
You can
is not
hold
a
it in
wish.
nature.
It is a command.
This is your invitation
Faith
to
is
shift
not
your
a
vision.
feeling.
Activate
it is the
your
law
faith
of divine
and start
creation.
manifesting God's
So,
promises
I
in
ask
your
you,
life.
what
Are you
reality
ready?
are you
you choosing to
begin.
imagine today? Because whatever you truly believe, you are already
Chapter
creating.
1.
Faith, imagination, and the substance of things unseen. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11 verse 1. Most people believe when they see, but faith says, see it first and then you will receive it. God designed the human mind with a divine gift, imagination. And when imagination is aligned with faith, it becomes the creative power of manifestation. How God uses imagination in the Bible. Abraham. God told him he would be the father of nations. But before he had even one child, God gave him a vision of his descendants being as numerous as the stars. Genesis 15 verse 5. Moses, before leading the Israelites out of slavery, he had to see the promised land in his spirit. Even before they crossed the Red Sea, he told the people, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." Exodus 14 verse 14. Joseph, before he became ruler in Egypt, he saw himself in a position of power through dreams God gave him. Genesis 37 verses 5 to 9. His brothers saw an arrogant young boy, but Joseph saw God's vision for his future. Jesus. Every miracle he performed, whether healing the sick, multiplying food, or calming storms, was done with visionary faith. He saw what should be and spoke it into existence. Faith is seeing what God has spoken, believing it is already done, and walking in it before it manifests. Faith requires imagination. Faith isn't just about wishing for a better life. It's about seeing the future God has already prepared for you and stepping into it with confidence. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint. You wouldn't know where the walls go, how tall to make the ceilings, or even where to place the windows. Without a vision, construction is impossible. The same is true for faith. Without a clear image in your mind, your spiritual life lacks direction. Think about a person training for a marathon. They don't wait until race day to imagine themselves crossing the finish line. They see it before it happens. They visualize themselves running with strength, pacing themselves, and feeling the rush of victory. That mental image fuels their discipline, their daily training, and their ability to push through fatigue. In the same way, faith-fueled imagination keeps you focused on the finish line of God's promises. Everything God has ever done, He first revealed as a vision. Before the flood came, God showed Noah the ark. Genesis 6 verses 14 to 16. Before a single bone came to life, God showed Ezekiel a valley filled with them. Ezekiel 37 verses 1 to 10. Before world events unfolded, God gave Daniel visions of future empires. Daniel 2 verses 31 to 45. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29 verse 18. If you cannot see the promises of God in your mind's eye, you won't be able to walk in them. Your imagination is the womb of manifestation. Everything begins as a thought before it becomes reality. God created the heavens and the earth with a vision and His spoken word, and as His child, you are designed to create in the same way. Faith is not simply hoping for a better future, it is seeing that future in the Spirit and aligning yourself with it. Everything God has ever done, He first revealed as a vision. God showed Noah the ark before a single drop of rain fell. God showed Ezekiel a valley of dry bones coming to life before they took on flesh. God showed Daniel the rise and fall of empires before history unfolded. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29 verse 18. If you cannot see the promises of God, you will not walk in them. Faith requires action. Faith isn't about sitting still and waiting for things to happen, it's about moving as if what you believe is already done. Imagine ordering something online. The moment you click buy, you know it's on its way. You don't sit around wondering if it will arrive, you start preparing for it. Maybe you clear space for your new furniture, maybe you track the shipment, but you don't question whether or not it's coming. That's faith in action. God expects us to have the same confidence in His promises. When He gives you a vision, He wants you to prepare for it before it arrives. Think about a farmer. He doesn't wait to see rain before planting seeds. He plants them in expectation of the harvest. In the same way, we must plan actions of faith long before we see results. When Abraham saw the stars, he believed and walked in faith even before Sarah conceived. When Moses saw the promised land, he led the people forward, even before they arrived. When Peter saw Jesus walking on water, he stepped out of the boat before knowing how he would stay afloat. Faith requires you to step into what you have imagined, as if it is already done. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. You must act as if God's promise is already fulfilled, because in the Spirit, it is. Faith activation exercise. 1. Identify one promise from God that you desire to manifest. 2. Write it down as if it is already yours. Example. Instead of saying, One day I will be financially free. Say, I am already walking in abundance. 3. Visualize yourself living in that promise. See it in your mind's eye. Feel it in your spirit. Walk as though it is done. 4. Speak it out loud daily. Declare God's promises over your life. 5. Take a faith step. What action can you take today that aligns with what you are believing for? This is how you turn faith into reality. Faith is not just seeing, it is believing, speaking, and stepping into the vision God has placed inside you. If you can see it in the spirit, you can hold it in nature. Chapter 3. Declaring and embodying the reality you seek. The world teaches us to live by facts, what we can see, touch, and prove. But the kingdom teaches us to live by faith, what we know to be true even before it appears. Imagine standing at the edge of a canyon. The world tells you to wait for a bridge before taking a step. Faith tells you to step forward knowing the bridge will appear beneath your feet. This is how Jesus lived. He did not wait to see evidence before he spoke. He spoke and the evidence followed. And he taught us to do the same. Your words are the architects of your reality. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 18 verse 21. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Speak doubt, and you plant seeds of limitation. Speak faith, and you plant seeds of abundance. The reality you experience today is the harvest of the words and beliefs you planted yesterday. Think of a thermostat in a room. If you set it to 75 degrees, the room doesn't instantly change temperature, but the system adjusts until it aligns with the command. Your words do the same thing. When you speak in faith, your life begins shifting to match your declarations. But you must be consistent. If you keep adjusting the thermostat up and down, saying one day, I'm blessed, and the next, nothing ever works out for me, your environment stays unstable. Your reality responds to what you consistently declare. How to align your words with faith-based reality. Step 1. Speak in the present, not the future. A farmer does not say, one day, I will have a harvest. He plants the seeds today, knowing the harvest is coming. Instead of saying, one day, I will be financially free, say, I am walking in abundance now. Instead of, someday, I will be healed, say, healing flows through my body now. Speak as if it is already done. Your words pull the unseen into the seen. Step 2. Embody the person you are becoming. If your prayer was already answered, how would you think, act, and feel? Would you still stress over the same problems? Would you still second-guess yourself? A woman believing for marriage does not wait until the ring is on her finger to prepare. She begins walking in the confidence of a wife, knowing her season is shifting. A business owner doesn't wait for success to show up. He embodies success today, making decisions, showing up, and carrying himself as the CEO he already is. This is faith, living from the outcome, not toward it. Step 3. Replace doubt with affirmation. Doubt is like weeds in a garden. If left unchecked, it will choke out your faith. Every time doubt creeps in, replace it with truth. Instead of, what if I fail? Say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Instead of, what if it doesn't work? Say, God is making a way for me even now. Instead of, I'm not enough, say, I am fearful and wonderfully made. Jesus never entertained doubt. When the storm raged, he didn't say, I hope it calms down. He spoke directly to it. Peace, be still. Mark 4 verse 39. And the storm obeyed. Faith speaks before it sees. A sculptor doesn't wait to see the statue before carving the stone. He sees it in his mind first and chisels away everything that doesn't belong. Your words do the same. Each time you speak faith, you are chiseling away fear, doubt, and limitation, revealing the reality God already intended for you. But you must speak it before you see it. Your future is waiting on your voice. So, what will you declare today? Chapter 4. Step into the power of divine imagination. God has already placed the vision, the purpose, the dream inside of you. But He won't force you to believe it. That's your choice. You stand at a crossroads every single day. Will you continue seeing your circumstances as they are, limited by what your eyes can perceive? Or will you begin to see your life as God already designed it, overflowing with the abundance, healing, and purpose He has declared over you? Faith is the lens that allows you to see what already exists in the spiritual realm. If you can see it in the spirit, you can receive it in the natural. Faith, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Think of faith like a key. You stand before a great house, filled with everything God has promised: provision, joy, peace, opportunities beyond what you can imagine. The house is yours. The inheritance is already waiting. But without faith, the doors remain locked. Faith is the key that grants you access. Not someday. Not when everything looks perfect.
Now.
Your imagination is a divine tool. Your ability to see beyond your current reality is not daydreaming, it's divine. Every great move of God in history began with someone who dared to see differently. Moses had to see himself parting the Red Sea before lifting his staff. David had to see himself defeating Goliath before the stone left his sling. Peter had to see himself walking on water before stepping out of the boat. And you must see yourself walking boldly into your calling before it manifests. Your miracle is already waiting. The life you desire is not something you have to chase. It's something you have to align with. God has already spoken yes and amen over your destiny. The question is, will you step into it? Will you speak, act, and live as though it is already done? Because the moment you do, reality will shift, doors will open, and the unseen will become seen. Are you ready? Because your miracle is already waiting. You have now been given the keys. The question is, will you use them? Faith is not merely believing. It is walking boldly in the truth of what has already been declared over you. It is seeing beyond the illusion of limitation and stepping fully into divine alignment. Your words, your thoughts, your actions, each one shapes the reality you experience. You are not a bystander in your life. You are a creator, co-laboring with God to bring forth the vision He has placed inside of you. The journey doesn't end here. This is only the beginning.
Rise. Speak.
Manifest. And above all, believe. Because everything you seek is already waiting for you. Until next time, walk in faith, lead with purpose, and live in power. The Virtuous Women Collective. If this book has inspired you, share it with another woman on her journey. Together, we rise to Rise Journey. Together, we rise.